Chinese Xinyan 6, which India claims it to be a spy vessel, arrived at the port of Colombo on Wednesday, October 25th. A spokesperson from the Sri Lanka Foreign Ministry told AFP news agency that the vessel had been authorized to dock in the city, where a Chinese state-owned company operates a deep-sea container terminal. Clearance was given for the vessel to come to Colombo for replenishment, the spokesman was quoted as saying by AFP. The Chinese called the Xinyan 6 a scientific research vessel with a crew of 60 to conduct oceanography, geology, and marine ecology tests. According to Chinese officials, their primary objective is to carry out an extensive survey encompassing both the exclusive economic zone, EZ, of the island nation and the region of the southern Indian Ocean. However, India believes that the research ship is actually a spy vessel in disguise, meant to snoop on Indian military assets based in the southern region bordering Sri Lanka and Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which serves as the base for the Indian Air Force and the Navy. Earlier, the National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency, NARA, the Apex Institute charged with responsibility for carrying out research, said that the China's Xinyan 6 will be reaching Sri Lanka as per an agreement reached with the University of Ruhuna. Later, the University of Ruhuna announced that it has decided to step away from the research program that was to take place with the Chinese scientific research vessel. The University of Ruhuna announced that one of the two university lecturers who represented the university in agreeing to conduct joint research with the Xinyan 6 had migrated overseas, and the other lecturer had stepped away from the country's university system completely. Despite the diplomatic standoff, the vessel found its way to Sri Lanka's shores. So what does this mean for India? China's growing influence in Sri Lanka cannot be overlooked, but what's the big deal? China, as Sri Lanka's largest creditor, has been wielding its economic prowess to shape the strategic landscape of the island nation. It has poured billions into development projects, a prominent example being the construction of the Hambantota port. Now this is where things get interesting. Sri Lanka, grappling with its own economic troubles, has found itself unable to repay these hefty loans. In a move that has raised eyebrows worldwide, Sri Lanka handed over commercial activities at the Hambantota port to a Chinese company. And here's the kicker. The lease is for 99 years. This isn't just a case of a lender exercising its rights. It's a clear demonstration of China's ambitions in the region and a sign of its expanding global influence. With China's economic stronghold over Sri Lanka, India's security concerns remain heightened. As China continues to make inroads in Sri Lanka, India's security concerns intensify. But why? At the heart of these concerns is the Hambantota port. India fears that China may use this strategic location as a military base, significantly shifting the balance of power in the region. The Indian government has voiced its apprehensions, stating it will keep a close watch on the situation, particularly for any impact on its own security and economic interests. This does not mean, however, that India is pressurizing Sri Lanka to turn away from Chinese influence. On the contrary, India denies exerting such pressure on its southern neighbor. Instead, it emphasizes the importance of sovereignty and mutual respect in international relations. Yet these denials do not erase the underlying anxiety. The presence of the Chinese vessel, Yuanwang 5, described by some as a dual-use spy ship, has only fueled these worries. As China's footprint in Sri Lanka expands, India is left to grapple with the potential security implications. The geopolitical chessboard is ever-changing, so where do we stand now? The most recent developments in this unfolding narrative have seen the Chinese vessel Yuanwang 5 dock in Sri Lanka's Hambantota port. Despite the concerns and protests from India and the United States, Sri Lanka's foreign ministry, caught in a diplomatic standoff, gave the green light for the ship to stay until August 22nd, but not without conditions. These developments raise new questions about the balance of power in this region as nations navigate their interests and alliances. This latest move by China, sending a research vessel which is believed by many to be a dual-use spy ship, is seen as another bold play in its ongoing quest for influence. India and the United States, on the other hand, remain watchful, their concerns far from alleviated. The situation draws attention to the wider implications of China's increasing footprint in strategically important regions, and the resulting tensions it creates. As we continue to observe the unfolding geopolitical drama, one thing is certain: the stakes are high and the game is far from over.